I said I was going to do a follow-up on the situation with Anna Campbell, and since I did my last video, there have been more videos made, specifically one video by Anna responding to the We Are Survivors video. And there have also been some statements and tweets made by Kaylee, Natalia, and Taylor. So let's try and figure out what's going on. What's crack, it's VangelinaSkov, and today we are going to be talking about Anna Campbell. This is now my second video on her. If you want to know what's going on up until now, I'll link my other video down in the description so you can check it out. But in short, a lot of allegations have been made against her, the majority of these coming from her three ex-girlfriends, Natalia, Taylor, and Kaylee. But again, if you want more details, you can check out the first video. Anyway, after I had recorded that, Anna uploaded another video called Dear Natalia Taylor, The Truth, where she talks about some of the claims that Natalia had made in her video, We Are Survivors. So we're going to go over a couple of things that she said in her video, as well as some of the other statements that have been made on Twitter by Kaylee, Natalia, and Taylor. But before we get into that, I would really appreciate if you would please subscribe and turn on all notifications with the little bell button right beside the subscribe button. And if you'd like to, you can also check out the Patreon and the memberships where you can get extra benefits like extra posts, videos, bloopers reels, podcasts, things like that. The other thing I want to say really quickly before we move on is thank you so much to everybody who's already donated to the fundraiser. We are nearly at $2,000 raised, which is insane in less than a week, so I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. In the next video I record, possibly not the next one I upload because I have stuff that's pre-recorded, but the next one I upload, I will put in the names of the people who donated $15 or more. And of course, I will add in Liam, who donated $1,000. So if you want to donate, you still can, of course. Obviously, it's going to St. Jude's if I didn't say that already. The link for the fundraiser will be in the description and in the pinned comment. And just so you know, it all goes through Tiltify. I don't ever see the money. It does not reach my hands. It goes straight to St. Jude's through Tiltify. Anyway, let's get on with the video. So one of the biggest things and the most talked about things in Anna's video is to do with the that she and her ex-girlfriends had done together. Now, a lot of the allegations against Anna include her glorifying the use of these things and encouraging them to do it. And it's already very well known that Anna does these. It's not really made a secret. But in her video, she says, I'm blamed for getting Natalia on these but denies that that's true. Basically saying that they had done them together, they made those decisions to do them together, and that she didn't push Natalia or any of the other girls to do that. However, the point is still being made by them and by other people that Anna glorified their use, encouraged them to do it. So most people aren't really believing her claim of not being the reason. Anna also tells a story of how when she was with Natalia, they had a group of friends who were very big into and they would all do them together. And apparently at one point, according to Anna, Natalia had decided that she should be in charge of when they get to use them. So she was the only one who was allowed to touch them and would decide when they would have the next Lena, as we'd call it in Irish, a line. Is there any evidence to that? No. So it's just two different people's stories. But let's move on to one of the more bigger and more talked about issues in regards to use of things. And this is the use of something I don't know if I can actually say it. So I'm going to give it a go saying it once. I feel like sometimes if the algorithm is feeling forgiving, you can say something once and you're fine. So in this case, it would have been that's the only time I'm going to say it, but no, for this whole segment, that's what I'm talking about. So the reason that this is such a big issue is because of something that we talked about in the previous video, which is that Natalia suffered a induced psychosis because of her use. And this particular could have contributed to that. And Anna had apparently introduced Natalia to it and is the reason she started using it. And I'm pretty sure Kaylee said the same thing, but I'm not entirely sure about Taylor, whether she said that Anna introduced her to this or not, so I'm not sure. But Taylor did say that Anna introduced her to other things. I just don't know about this particular one. Anna, however, claims that this is not true and says that it was the opposite and that Natalia encouraged her to do it. They had done it together the first time. Anna absolutely hated it, said it was terrifying and she didn't enjoy it at all and didn't want to do it again. but Natalia did, according to Anna's story. So Natalia kept asking her to do it again, and eventually Anna said yes, and it's this whole big story. She can't light it because she's too scared. And Anna also claims that later on Natalia cried because she was so upset that she had pressured Anna into doing it, because Anna had had such a bad time. However, this story is very confusing because there's conflicting versions of it. This is the most recent one that Anna's putting out, but people have dug up clips of her saying she enjoyed it, this particular one. So it's unclear whether she hated it the first time and the second time and then did it again and then liked it, or if she was lying in this situation or lying when she said she liked it. And Kaylee also went on Twitter and I think on TikTok to say that Anna was lying, saying, well, if you hated it so much, why did you tell me to do it, saying you had such a great time with it and you loved it so much. So yeah, you get what I mean when I say there are a lot of very conflicting versions of this story. Moving on from that, there's also talk of the photo that was taken of Natalia's body where she looked very sick and very thin, and this was because of her use. We again talked about this in the first video, but Anna claims that they're trying to paint it like she took this photo of Natalia and because of that she's a bad person. So she seems to think this is a form of, I guess, manipulation or some kind of manipulative tactic, whereas she says her and Natalia were both on so many of these things that neither of them realized how she looked. But some people have claimed that this is not what Natalia was trying to say at all, and she was just trying to show how unwell she was at that time, not that she was trying to paint Anna in any way. And other people also say that it was bad of Anna to take the picture and not say something about how she looked, even without the picture. I mean, you could see her in front of you. I don't know. We also have the milkshake story. So the milkshake story, which we've talked about before, is that when Anna and Natalia broke up, Anna threw a milkshake at Natalia's face. And it went all over her walls or her room or something like that. It was a purple milkshake? Purple milkshake. What kind of milkshake is purple? Sorry, I just thought about that. What is in it to make it purple? I would really like to know. Are there purple fruits? Somebody's about to call me really stupid, but are there purple fruits? I don't know. Anyway, this is completely unrelated. I apologize. So Anna says that she didn't kick it in her face, that she kicked it at the wall, but doesn't claim that Natalia is lying, says that maybe she's remembering it wrong. But then she moves on from that and tells a story which Natalia herself has told of when Anna was on Natalia's bed crying and upset, and Natalia got so angry that she threw a frame at the wall and it smashed and the glass fell over her head. So she uses this as an example of how that's worse than the milkshake. But again, in this situation with the milkshake, we have two people telling two completely different stories. Not completely different, but two different stories. So the bit that I want to talk about now is to do with the kiss that they had, her and Natalia, with a fan. And this fan was 16. There was a picture taken of this and it's been on the internet, people have seen it. And Natalia herself has addressed this, saying that she's so sorry, she wished she hadn't done it, she doesn't know why she thought it was okay, and recognizes that it was a really bad thing to do. Anna also talks about this in her video, also saying it was a bad thing to do, she doesn't know what they were thinking, but she thinks that she's held to a different standard of accountability than Natalia. But I've seen a lot of people saying that they don't accept Anna's apology of this because she only apologizes just before saying, but Natalia also did this and we're held to different standards. I don't want to go into that one too much because it is involving people who are age, so I don't really want to dwell on that bit too much because it's a little bit heavier and a little bit more, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but yeah, I don't want to talk about that one too much. But the final bit that I will touch on about the people is that Anna says she has never texted a 12-year-old because these were a lot of claims that had been made against her, that she was texting these people and yada yada, but does say that she did send some jokes in group chats, and she didn't say if anybody in those group chats were 12 or, but people have said that they were. But I guess the claim that she's making is she didn't privately message anybody. I'm not entirely sure. It's a little bit unclear, unless I'm just stupid and not getting it. The other thing is that Anna admits in the video that there are some cases where she's done wrong and she's done terrible things, but doesn't really specify what they are. So I feel like maybe it would be useful if she would specify what those things are. Which things does she admit to? Because she's a bit vague about some of them, but she does outright admit others. For example, in this video, she admits that she threatened when her and Natalia broke up. But that's the main points that I wanted to talk about from Anna's video. But I do want to talk a bit about Kaylee, Natalia, and Taylor themselves and some of the things they've been saying online, because they are saying that Anna is lying in her video, that she's just not telling the truth, she's twisting the truth, or she's omitting things, or she's only talking about situations where there's no hard evidence and not addressing other situations where there are evidence. And Natalia actually posted a video telling people who don't think that Anna is to wake the F up, and then proceeds to add some clips that have been floating around on the internet. If you're following the story, you would have seen them, but of Anna screaming and throwing things and things like that. I obviously can't show you any of those clips because I don't feel like getting sued. It's not really what I want to do with my week. They also did all tweet that they would no longer be talking about Anna for legal reasons. However, they did start talking about her again, but this was later clarified that they're just not talking about the lawsuit or the legal case for legal reasons, but they could still talk about her. Taylor says, "I will block anyone that says, thought you weren't speaking on her. I'm not allowed to speak about the case, which I am not doing. I can express my feelings and make PSAs if I feel necessary." I do want to show you a couple more of Taylor's tweets because she has some interesting ones. For example, people were saying that her claims that Anna had ordered her were false. But she says, "If they were false or allegations, Anna should have taken me to court for defamation immediately, but she didn't. I wonder why, and it's not because of it being expensive. Money wouldn't matter when your entire reputation is on the line." She also says, "You do know I've been able to prove everything Anna's accused me of as false or fabricated, right? I still can and will if necessary. Also, I'm not worried at all because I know I did nothing wrong. I'm making a statement as a warning because the second those false allegations are made, there's no going back. You will be sued for defamation, and that's something I don't want to, but will do." So basically claiming that everything that Anna is saying about her is a lie and she will sue if she has to for defamation, and that she can prove it. Which interestingly, Anna put at the end of her video saying, "Now let's move on to Taylor." And then a screen comes up saying, "I had to cut out the footage unexpectedly." So I have no idea what that's about or why it was left in, if there will be an update on that or not. I don't know if she removed it because the footage was corrupted, or I don't know, she got something from a lawyer. But if that's the case, then why did she leave it in the video? So I don't know if it was just to say, hey, I do have stuff to say about Taylor too, not just about Natalia, and that's going to be the end of it, or if she is going to talk about it. But with these tweets from Taylor saying that she'll sue, I don't know. Taylor also said that she's not really going to be taking anything from the Stan accounts because there are accounts that are defending Anna. She says these Anna Stan accounts that are working with Anna behind the scenes better be careful with what they're doing and saying. She might get all of you your own lawsuits. Twitter accounts are traceable if you weren't aware, and defamation is real. You have no idea who you're up against. Interestingly as well, Kaylee's Instagram was taken down. It was disabled by Instagram, and I don't know if that is because of something she posted, she violated guidelines or something, or if it was because of fans mass reporting her Instagram account, because that does happen a lot in these kind of situations. It happened to Rachel Oates from Gabby Hanna fans, if you remember. So it could be that, or it could be unrelated, but either way, her Instagram has been disabled, and I would like to know what's going on there, but I don't know. That's pretty much all I want to go over for today. I know there is a lot more. I could go on about this endlessly, but there is no time in the day to do that. And I know people want me to talk about the BPD stuff still. I've been searching and searching, and I cannot find where she said the stuff was because of her BPD. And I've heard a lot of people saying that it exists. So if you know where to find that, then just DM me, please, so I can find it. I would like to say as well, if I don't see or respond to your DM, please do not then send me really mean DMs afterwards or comment really mean things on my video or passive aggressive things even on my videos because I didn't see it. I do get a lot of DMs, especially when I ask people to DM me, I get a lot more and I can't see them all. Plus, I don't like to go through every single one of my message requests on Instagram because people message me really mean things. I've had that happen a couple of times when I've asked people to send me stuff. I didn't see their message, but then I would see a comment from them being like, oh, well, I don't know, you're so rude, or why'd you even ask me, or things like that. And it is just kind of rude because I'm not just ignoring you, I just don't see the message. I can't go through them all. I don't mean to sound like ungrateful in a way for people messaging me. I really do appreciate when it's nice things or helpful things or just silly or just to reach out and say hi. I do appreciate it. But please just don't be unnecessarily aggressive if I don't see your message. I'm not ignoring you on purpose. Unless you're some weird man who's asking me, can we meet up in Skopje? Because no, we can't. And I don't want to accept your request. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me for now. So like I said at the start of the video, please subscribe and turn on notifications. And you can also check out the fundraiser if you want to donate to St. Jude's. And do let me know in the comments what you think about all of this. Are you following this situation? Is the first you've heard of it? And if you don't want to comment on that because it is quite a heavy situation, then leave me a comment letting me know if you're playing any video games right now. And if so, what are they? Because comments help my engagement. I just finished playing It Takes Two on Twitch, which was really fun. So I need to find a new game to play. Probably gonna be Nights on Bikes. So anyway, and you can also follow me on social media. Like, comment, share, and do all the things that I'm supposed to ask you to do at the end of a video. And have a wonderful day. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.